We are Squawking Dead. And happy Friday to you guys. Ampla Friday to you guys. In case you don't know, Ampla Friday is a thing that we like to do on Fridays where we give you a voice. We basically have posts on Twitter and in our Instagram and Facebook stories. We basically tell you to tell us what you want the rest of the world to know, and we basically will post it in our stories, and on Twitter we'll just retweet with the little hashtag Amplifier so if you missed it, just check out our Instagram and Facebook stories, or check out our Twitter feed, and then just reply to that post on the Twitter feed, or answer the question in the Instagram or Facebook stories, and we'll get it started. Anyway, I'm your host, David Cameo. Of Squawking Dead, because we are Squawking Dead, and we are a podcast that pulverizes episodes of The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead universe, and beyond, world beyond. Off to a great start, huh? We're about to play episode 86, which is the third and final installation of our Back to Camp Marimac and Walker Stalker talk. It's been a long road. I realize that for most of you guys, if you haven't bought us a coffee and seen the original footage, I highly recommend you at least buy us a one-off $3 to download it, because right after we end this episode, we launch into this crazy story of somebody hitting on Carol during the 90s after party. And we play the hot and cold game with his age. As you may or may not know, Carol is about my age, and as we learned in the other episode, a person should never ask a woman her age. So we'll just leave it there. Needless to say, this fellow was about probably 20 years younger than her, and I was oblivious to the fact that he was hitting on her. So if you buy us a coffee, and just so you know, if you do download the full entire video, scroll back to a half an hour before the end, and there's a half an hour of bonus content at the end of the actual episode, and it starts with that story. It launches right into it. So that if that's not a good enough ad for ko-fi.com/squawkingdead, or click the button on our squawkingdead.com page saying support the podcast, I don't know what is. In any case, people, I'm going to actually start the episode now so I can be with you in the chat. Rachel's here. Other people are here. We finally got our first submission to our morning squaffy segment, basically. Thanks to Nightmare on Elm. We're gonna be getting back to that topic tomorrow. It's gonna be open to the public, so the video response is gonna be open to the public. I'm hoping we get a conversation rolling, because it's a very interesting and TWD related question, which I am encouraging you all to check out. I'll be posting about it tomorrow morning, and we'll see what happens as a result. And if this works out, we'll do it every week. In any case, and one more thing. Speaking of call-outs, Nightmare on Elm, right before the podcast, actually not right before, but several hours before, Tom, Celtic TSO, whom we mentioned in this podcast, donated a coffee to our cause. And I thank you very much. If you're here, if you're not here, it's fine. It'll always be here on Facebook and Instagram. So recognition, hat tip. And if you do happen to buy us a coffee during the stream, it'll show up right about here. So wait for the episode to actually start. If you do buy us a coffee, it'll show up and it'll go bloop bloop, and then your name will show up in that video forever on Facebook and YouTube. And without further ado, I present to you episode 86, part 3. Bye, and have a great weekend. Ooh, aren't you still in your little seats after listening to talking about kids making noises and cassette tapes? Got a little nugget there. Now you're gonna hang on, hopefully, if you haven't already gone.
I had fun playing Camera Woman this week.
Meg basically gave us the heads up and told us that Greg Nicotero didn't have a crazy line, and he was doing kind of combos of photo ops and like autographs for like a really affordable price because
he's like 30, right?
No, it was like probably 40.
Okay.
Which is very good. I mean,
for the combo.
Combo for both.
Yeah.
So,
okay, that's cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. We kind of were taking, me and Rich were like taking lays of the land, you know, to kind of like survey and kind of see who was there and who was charging what, because I mean, you could spend a lot of money at these conventions. Somebody like Stephen Young was like 120 or 108? Yeah,
wait, no, I think it was.
No, 160.
It was 160, yeah, because it was 80 for each. There was no combo discount either. It was just 80 for this, 80 for that.
And I was like $160. Like that's a big hit, you know?
Yeah, that's a big hit.
Oof.
For like a minute of your time.
Not even. I mean,
that's not even. Yeah.
That's what always confused me about these things. Like, do you remember when we came in last year?
Yeah.
I'm like looking at the tables. Oh. How much money was I supposed to bring?
Right, and that's the thing. And like we were joking around because it's like they had an ATM right across from Norman Reedus's area and an ATM right across from Jeffrey Dean Morgan's area. I was like, that's hysterical. Take your money out right now and start just giving it to them, you know? And that's just how it is, you know? But you could spend like a ton because it's like 160 here, you know, 100 here, like. So I feel like we spent a lot of time, or at least I was spending a lot of time just trying to figure out like, how do I want to get the most bang for my buck and not spend like an absurd amount of money? It's crazy. So like Meg gave us a heads up on Greg Nicotero and we went there. The line wasn't crazy. So I had the last issue of Walking Dead. And so that's what I asked him to sign. And he was like, oh, what should I sign? I was like, whatever you want. And so he drew a little walker, like a little zombie around here, and signed it. So that was very exciting. But I asked him when we were there, I was like, you know, we have a podcast. Do you mind answering a couple of questions for us if you have a moment? And he was really sincere and basically said, you know, I would love to give you the time, but you know, there was like, I don't want to hold up the other people online. So if you wait around a little bit until things die down, then we can like talk a little bit more, which I was like, sure, you know? And I mean, it did take a little while because it's like, it comes in droves. It's like you have like a flow of people and then it starts to trickle and then more people start coming in. And it's like
little clusters.
Yeah, it's like, here, maybe, no. So then, and we were like, me and Rachel were like, me and Rachel were trying to make sure we were in the line of sight.
Still here.
I was like, still here.
Excuse me, sir.
We didn't go anywhere. But it was so funny because it's like, you know, I was standing there for a while and like Allie came by and like, you know, so chatted with her for a little bit. And then finally, like, it kind of really died down and he like pulled up a chair and was like, you know, come on over, whatever. Which I was so grateful for because my feet were dying by the time it was done. I was like, oh my God, I really
He's a true hero.
Sit down because I have been standing around waiting for this. Like Rachel said, like maybe like 8 minutes, and she videotaped it and I like audio recorded it. And I just kind of asked him, now that he's like doing not just like makeup, but he's also doing producing and directing and like, you know, if there's an area that he prefers more. And he kind of was talking about how like each area has its own appeal. And the nice thing with being on a show like this is that it allows people the capability to be able to kind of dip into other areas, not just like you're an actor or you're just a makeup artist. Like you can explore other parts of the show instead of just kind of like staying in your lane. And, you know,
and there's still like a rhythm too.
Right. And I also, oh yeah. See, she was camera girl. Rachel was camera girl.
That's a great shot too. Is that after you learned the rule of thirds?
The rule of
the night before.
I don't know. I don't follow rules.
It looks like you did though.
We just went rogue.
I just hold the camera so that you can see everybody.
Things.
Yeah. This interview was not planned. Yeah, and this interview was not planned. We just kind of basically asked and we're like, hoped.
Look at you guys.
What's the worst he's gonna say? No? Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool. If he says like, oh, I don't have time, it's like, all right, well, I tried.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then we just also kind of asked him, how does one get into like this industry? Like, you know, that sort of thing. Which I kind of understood his answer though. And like I was talking to Rachel about it, it's like, you just kind of basically just need that one opportunity. And then once you're in, you're in. That's basically what it comes down to. Because I could I mean, I could relate to that even like in my job. I do specifically like retail design, which is such a specific like niche. But like once you're in, then that's it. Like you kind of like can move around within that because you're already like in this sort of like little niche basically. So you kind of make the most out of it. It's just that initial getting in, and there are different ways to do it. You just kind of have to figure out that way. But he was really nice. He was very like easy to talk to. Like, I mean, that's how I felt it. Like, what did you think, Rach? Like, he was just.
It looked very easy to talk to him. I mean,
he was kind of saying he was exhausted though, which I was saying before when we were online, because it's like he was sit, but then you have to stand up and take a photo. So it's like sit, stand up, like sit, stand up. I mean, that's like squats. Like, I mean, he's like.
I mean, even like me at the table too. By the way, it's just like it wasn't even worth sitting down again.
Exactly, it's just easier
stand
to
up.
stand, because it's like if you're gonna like sit, stand. It's like for that, it's like I might as well just stand. You know.
Yeah, but the problem is we have to get people to our table.
Right.
not get people. People are like waiting in line for him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But he was. I mean, all of them are troopers. That's a lot. All day, like it's considerable.
Remember John Bernthal? Oh my God.
Oh, his line was crazy last year.
I'm still in reverence of like his stamina. He like was after hours staying and taking selfies with people.
He has a reputation for being really good with his fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely does. He has his line last year at Walker Stalker was intense.
Yeah.
His line in Chicago was crazy. I
First
mean,
one in, last one out.
It never got smaller.
Really?
Ever.
That's interesting.
Never.
Oh, well, by the way, this is off of Punisher fame too.
That's what we were saying. Yeah. I mean, it's not
like
just
2
Walking
seasons
Dead.
later.
It's also Punisher. Yeah. I get it.
Oh, yeah.
If I were to think about which ones had like the biggest lines, like Stephen Young had a lot.
I'm surprised by that.
Glenn is always going to be a favorite though. Like Glenn is always Glenn.
I'm only surprised because considering the cost.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
That's why I was shocked.
Yeah. I mean, I love Glenn, but not at $160. Oof.
Yeah. I mean, that's what really gets me too, because it kind of goes back to my initial comment about what it was like the first time around, like last year. Mm-hmm. And we were like, oh, this is really expensive.
Yeah, no, it was eye-opening.
And I wonder how people, because I know there's people of various means that come, and then they literally.
But for some people, this is like, I mean, you've heard it a lot from people who came to the table who would talk about how like they live for this,
Right.
So like.
It was like their one time a year sort of thing.
So they come and they spend, that money. It's a shame when people don't have like, they may get a less than stellar experience. That sucks because
that's the thing. Yeah.
You're paying money. It's I don't know.
I think that's the thing that like maybe I'm missing. Right? Maybe I was missing with my initial judgments, and again, not to go into it, but I think we're having a revelation right now. You saying that puts a better frame or a better lens that helps me focus in on why people are so pissed off. Because you're talking about people who are willing to spend beyond what would typically be their means,
right?
Let's just say, just for argument's sake, because it brings them something like meaningful in their lives, right, or something, or I don't know, let's just say that.
Yeah.
And so when things don't go quite as well as they should, as they ought to, right, then I can see why or how people are so pissed off.
Yeah.
When things do go wrong. I'm not, that's not to say that there's just some people out there who are entitled.
I think that we're approaching it from a different approach. Like we're kind of more realist, and we're sort of like, we love the show, but
it's like a Maslow's hierarchy of needs going on here.
It's just that this is their heart and soul. They take it very much to heart if they have an experience that is less than when they anticipated it. The disappointment feels like even more compounded. Whereas like, kind of like the Greg Nicotero thing. It's like, I wasn't expecting an interview, so I was sort of like, just kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to put it out there and see where it goes. And if it goes, and if I get a positive response, great. If not, oh well.
You had zero expectations.
Exactly. I had
That's
zero
really
expectations. I feel like a lot of people kind of maybe go into it with all these grand expectations of what they're going to get. And then when it comes up short, it's very, very disappointing.
Right. And especially if after they put the money down for it.
Well,
for
yeah.
that right?
I mean, look, those gold tickets were $600? Was it like the gold?
I believe so. Yeah.
I think
so like, but that's not including various things.
Right.
Like that's just for the ticket
That's
itself.
not including a lot of things.
Yeah.
That does not include a lot.
Then it's sort of like, well, what the hell? Why am I spending X amount of money, you know? So
Right.
like,
I think that's what bothered me. Like, I'll give you the comment that made me feel like, okay, stop exaggerating. I heard more than one person say, "Oh, this is like Fire Festival." You know, do you remember hearing about Fire Festival?
No.
And then that's what
This event actually happened, so it's
exactly.
the event actually happened. For the most part,
Yeah.
it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay, some
Right.
people got blurry photos. Okay, some people
Right.
got no photos.
Right.
bumps in the road, but it happened.
Yeah.
But the majority of it went well. You know?
There were definitely like hiccups, and I mean, from an outsider perspective, like I can see that the photo op looked chaotic. Like I get it. Side note, if you want to get the most bang out of your buck at these things, get a photo op and do it with a group and split that money. Because like
split that money.
Split that cost, because it's like, seriously, you get 4 people. Like if the photo op is $100 and you get 4 people into it and you're only paying 25 a piece, that's okay. I can do $25. Like $100, I have an issue with that.
Will they print you more copies though, or do you just get the one photo?
You just get the one photo, but all I would care is the digital anyway.
Yeah,
they send to you. Right. So it's like,
oh, you do get a digital copy too?
You get a digital too. So it's like, what do I care about the hard copy? I just want the digital. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. It's like all
I
I
did
want
not know that.
All I want is a JPEG. Like when me and
That's cool.
Like last year, me and my girlfriend did it, and we split it. But she kept the hard copy because I was like, I don't need the hard copy. I just want the JPEG. That's
I'm
it.
into that. Yeah.
You know, what me and Rach was saying is that, like, you know, it's a missed opportunity. If we would have planned ahead accordingly, like we would have gone into it with like the Sunshine Twins, we would have gotten a picture with Negan. And if we all would have planned ahead, we would have all brought black cocktail dresses, and we could have been like Negan's harem.
Including me.
Dude, I told you. I was like, anybody get in. I would have been like, anybody who wants in, get in.
I have wigs. We could put Dave in a brunette wig.
That would have been great.
Lavender.
Or anything, really.
Oh, lavender.
I like lavender.
I do like lavender.
I do look good in a pair of earrings and heels.
See?
I do.
So, mental note for next con.
Next time.
Next time.
Noted.
Bring a black cocktail dress.
Who's the dude who had the music videos with the girls in the cocktail?
We were talking about that too.
Yeah.
Robert Palmer.
Yes, thank you.
All the girls in like the black dresses and the music. Yeah. We could do that too in the photo op.
Remember I was telling you about 80s Fest that we do around in here? So a group of women dressed up like that. They did the dresses and they had these inflatable guitars. They were blow-up red guitars that they just carried around. It was perfect. It was awesome.
And it's not difficult to do either.
It's so easy,
it's the
but
cheapest
so
costume.
recognizable.
Exactly.
And you know instantly what it is. I like that.
So next time around, that's it. 100%. That's what we're doing. And we're splitting the cost.
Yep.
So shall it be written. So shall it be done.
It's happening. Tell the Sunshine Twins. Write it down.
Exactly.
Write it down.
Yep.
We're going to have to let them know ahead of time. I think we really need to do one of two things. We need to do like a smaller op with a bunch of people, but wait, it gets worse. Why don't we tag as many people as human? Because I really want to do this, because I did say this when you were talking about splitting the ops. I was like, let's just get most of Walker Stalker in one op. Like they'd be like, here's your $1.
Here's your $1. Here we go.
We got 180 people, Stephen Yun. Fuck you. Like, go fuck yourself with your photo.
Like,
oh God.
Where's Glenn?
Hey, let's take another one because we can. Here's $2.
Oh my God.
Everybody, change your positions, and it'll take however long it's going to take to get 180 people reconfigured.
Oh my God.
Worth it.
The Fear panel was the next day. Me and Rach were commenting that there wasn't as big of a crowd.
The room wasn't full.
But I kind of anticipated that, because it's Fear. It's not going to entice the kind of crowds that, like, you know, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is going to get.
It wasn't much smaller than the Hilltoppers panel, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I think Mo Collins really carried that, though. She seemed the most comfortable with bantering with the audience and answering their questions. You can tell that she has like a background in comedic improv, because like she can roll with the punches with questions.
What did they ask her to do in one of her character voices?
Oh God.
Do you remember that part?
Yeah. And
they were like, say this as this character. She did it. Yeah.
She did it. She just ran with it, you know?
She also gave everybody up their nicknames.
Yes, she was.
If Sarah gave everyone nicknames, what would they? And she went down the line and gave everybody a nickname.
Yeah. She could just sort of like, you know, wing it. Whereas like, you know, other people obviously like are, you know, like not necessarily like, you know, they have to think about it a little more and, you know, how they answer things. But she kind of like had a good time with it. She was the star of the panel.
Absolutely. I would agree with that. Yep.
Who do you think had the most trouble up there? Who took a little longer time?
I think Maggie Grace was a little bit more.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
I was going to say Cooper Dodson. I don't know if I would say trouble.
Yeah,
it did
I wouldn't
seem
say trouble.
Was more careful with
the
the
right
answers.
word.
Right.
Yeah, and Maggie Grace was kind of like.
Gave a lot of thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably worried about giving things away, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. The season's over, so I don't know what they could give away.
Yeah, I mean, it's barely in development, right? But they will start.
Right,
Actually,
but-
no, I think they will start filming. We talked about this, typically November 3rd or something like that?
Maybe they've had a table read by
Yeah.
now.
Maybe.
and didn't want to
Or
give
like a
anything
script
away.
or something.
When people would ask Cooper a question, he kind of would stumble a little bit about either what he could say or what he was trying to say, or
Yeah.
but even still, I mean, for as young as he is, he carried
Right.
himself very well. He was still very professional. So yeah.
It looked like he had a lot of fun at the con. He's still posting pictures. And, you know, like, I'm riding a bicycle on the floor for some reason. He's just
I saw
cool
him
kid.
doing that.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm like,
Go
who's
figure.
riding a? Oh, okay.
It's like, hey,
Go on with your bad self.
I guess so.
Yeah.
What a coop wants, what a coop needs. Okay, I don't know why I said that. it's the lateness of the hour. What?
Get ready for it.
That's right. Girls, get ready for David.
So you sound like Alexis from Schitt's Creek. David.
David. Yeah, that's where I got it from. And then subsequently my wife, because she watches that shit. It's great.
I love that. I love that show.
David,
Tangent. Okay.
David.
Anyway.
We had the 90s party. So I changed in the Sunshine Twins room. That night was kind of just a little all over the place.
I wanted to say that I predicted completely. I was like, these guys are going to come down here drunk already. These guys are going to come down here already with alcohol in their system. And the first thing
just a
that
little.
they said, the first
For
thing they
me.
said when they come down and say, we took shots up in the room. I was like,
Hell yeah, we did.
here we go.
So yeah,
Can I tell you, in the midst of everyone drinking and smoking, I was the dork that was like, I'm just excited to be here. I'm just high off the music. I was like, I'm just happy to be here.
Oh yeah. I mean, if I didn't drink, I would be just fine too. Like all the '90s music, having all these different people around us in costume, most of them.
And there was some very good costumes. I get so excited when I see people in things that like resonate close to my heart. When I see people dressed as Daria, I'm like, oh, Daria.
Oh,
Yes.
I loved Shredder and the Ninja Turtle too.
That was good too. Yeah.
She looked good. She's fine.
That's fun.
Yeah, she was like sexy Shredder, which
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't typically like to.
I don't like sexy costumes usually.
But the costume was so good though.
Sexy. Like if you're gonna dress up like Harley Quinn, she's a sexy character.
Right.
That's fine. Shredder is not sexy.
It's not sexy.
All of
do
a
it.
sudden though, I had a thing there. It was all good. It was great.
And then you immediately felt wrong because you remember Shredder's a dude, right?
Yeah.
I'm rooting.
No,
Hey,
see,
if you,
I don't
if you
like
can be a Negan apologist, I could be a Shredder apologist.
Well, yeah, I
Shredder's
don't know.
just trying to
That's just my.
That's not my
I just
thing.
don't like to do that.
Shredder's
for
just
me.
a
I
small
wouldn't-
business owner.
That's not my thing either. Yeah.
Well, then again, you're not attracted to girls.
If I'm gonna be Shredder, how do you know? If I'm gonna be Shredder, I'm
Shot in
gonna
the
be
dark?
Shredder.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna terrify people.
It didn't hurt that her costume was actually good. The Ninja Turtle one, you're right. That was just totally, nah. But the Shredder costume was good. It was like this big helmet and the just elaborate arms.
I was gonna say, from what I remember, her helmet was pretty impressive.
Right, it was a little bigger, but like I think it was really good. It was like so, and then
Yeah.
all I'm saying is she was just an attractive person inside the Shredder costume. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a sexy Shredder outfit per se.
Okay. I know. I didn't see the costume.
Oh my gosh, it was really good. The Ninja Turtle one was just cheesy as fuck. It's like, okay, obviously this works as a couple, but alone you look ridiculous. Like,
I'm pretty sure I have that Ninja Turtles costume in my closet as well. So
Yeah,
it's
but
not
it's-
something that comes regularly.
Right, it's for you and Eric, right? Just shot in the dark again.
Yes.
Okay. I think the band was really cool. I mean, I did not pay attention to the costume contest. There were too many ridiculous people up there because everybody was in costume too.
Yeah, no, I didn't really pay attention to the contest either. Because, I mean, everybody around you was in costume, so it was already like there was enough to see just around you.
I was just confused the whole time. I was standing next to Scott Spillman during the costume contest, and we were both just like, most of them were kind of cheesy. There was like a handful that were like well thought out and very well planned, and then the rest of them were just kind of like,
I'm just gonna go up there. Yeah.
Wasn't there a chick dressed up as Peggy Bundy? That was awesome too.
That was I did see her. That was cool.
I was like, that's awesome.
I really
a lot of them weren't 90s either. A lot of them came from different eras.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any examples in mind?
Hellraiser for one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's some things that weren't specific to 90s. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
The costumes
was in the
I got
90s.
The costumes that I got excited for were the things that were like very 90s specific to 90s.
Right, it hits that 90s reference dead on.
Right, like Daria.
Right.
Yeah.
And things that are just absolutely like unequivocally like 100% like 90s, you know?
Well, even the Sunshine Twins.
If we would have saw Beavis and Butthead there.
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead would have been great. I would have loved to see like a Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain. That would have been awesome.
Oh gosh. Yeah, like a zombie version.
Awesome.
That would be awesome.
Although, isn't that funny? Like Courtney Love isn't dead, but we'll make her dead. Stupid. Stupid.
There was Slash and Axl Rose.
That was a good one.
That was cool. That was.
If I'm not mistaken, like I could be wrong, but I think that one won the contest. I don't know. It was just good.
Wednesday Addams and her dolls won.
Oh, I saw that. Well, that was Wednesday Addams. Ooh.
I can't believe that was Wednesday Addams. I was like,
Yeah, it didn't even look like her.
No.
Although again, like that's like not. I mean, I guess it's technically a '90s reference, but the Addams Family was like from.
But the Addams Family dates back to like back in the day. Like I wouldn't equate it with '90s. That's a stretch.
But the movie came out and it was this resurgence. What are you gonna do? I mean, it was the Addams Family for an entire generation, probably including us, technically speaking. Because I mean, we lived off reruns.
Right.
No Shaggy and a Scooby Doo.
Right.
But then again, that's also 60s.
Matthew Lillard's throwing a party.
Right. Well, I considered it. I'm looking down, expecting to see the StabCon shirt.
It's hard though, because a lot of things came, like the really big iconic things came out in the 80s and then were still around in the 90s. But like, what iconic things were born in the 90s?
Well, okay. I mean, kudos to, again, and we're going to bring her up again, is Eliza_Jones86, who dressed up as Sydney from Scream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, she's the only one who got it, who capitalized on the Matthew Lillard appearance.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
And me, obviously, because of the stupid shirt.
With the StabCon.
StabCon shirt and stickers.
Stop.
I should have given them out that night, too. I didn't think of that. Then again, we should put our logo on it somewhere, somehow. I don't even know where that would be possible.
We should have had a contest to see how many stickers we can put on people without them noticing.
I like you. I think I'll keep you around.
I would have won that game.
I would have surrendered because I would love to just watch that. I would take video of that. I mean, speaking of funny things people were doing, I think it was the last day, maybe it was the Saturday, but Aaron, was it Nightmare on Elm with the 3 and the Elm? He had this big pouch of little tiny baby figurines that he was putting everywhere in the con, like other people's tables.
Oh God,
it's so creepy.
Oh my God.
That would have been really creepy.
He left one at the Street Paws donation near the mouth, and I moved it to like where the Stuff and Thanks sign was. But like I would see every now and again, last several days, like pictures of people being like, "What the fuck is this?" One of them had, they were like all in like a little conga line, like surrounding like a button or something like that. It was like, what is going on here?
That's awesome.
God.
And I was like,
that's awesome.
And I was like, literally, I kept tagging him It's like, this is your work, isn't it? It's just cool.
That's awesome.
That is
I
hilarious.
wish I would have thought of that.
The Whisper panel was the best panel.
I agree with you, even though my man wasn't there.
I know your man was, but it was funny because it's
Wait, Ryan wasn't there?
no. It,
No,
Why not?
it ended up being just a panel
Just
with
a girl.
He was probably too occupied with yoga. Like I think that was going on also.
Which
I
wasn't.
think he was back at his table by then, but he might. I mean, the line might have been too long too, because
Yeah.
I know the yoga was at like 8 a.m. It was
Oh,
super
okay.
early that day. Trust me, I tried to get in.
Was it packed? Was it? What?
Oh, that thing, it sells out like as soon as
Oh.
the yoga tickets go on sale, they're sold out.
That's
You
funny.
get-
Crazy.
And the
Good for him,
the
though.
funniest
But
thing,
you know what that is? It's-
yeah, very.
What
The
is
funniest
that?
thing is like 90% of the people in there have probably never done yoga.
I was going to
before.
say, all it is probably a bunch of thirsty women that want him to kind of show them how to do like a downward, like, how to do like
I'll
a
do that downward dog.
Exactly. It's like, here, let me
Are my
position
hips
you.
right?
Exactly. That's
Oh,
all
I-
that it is.
I have to push
All
my
that
pelvis out.
All that it is. I am telling you right now. Listen, and I don't fault it at all. I get it.
I mean, if JDM were hosting
If
yoga.
I would be there at 7:30 in my yoga gear and Lululemon bag,
In my
ready
most
to go.
see-through spandex.
I'm gonna be in
Ready
the
to
front
go.
row.
Front row, full attention.
Leggings.
Let's go.
Right.